Hello and welcome to a new tutorial in my channel. In this crochet tutorial I am showing you how to crochet step by step this daisy granny square tote bag, which is perfect for the spring-summer seasons that we are in. To crochet this bag you can use any yarn of your choice, but I used cotton for mine. I don't have the label to show it to you. It has been in my stash for a long time and I have no idea why there are no labels. But anyways, I used green and white and yellow, but the yellow I had was 100% cotton, 50 grams, equal 125 meters long, which is thinner as the other yarn. So to make it same thickness as the two other yarns, I used it by 2 strands. Also a 3mm hook. To start, I made a magic circle as shown, pulled a loop and crocheted 3 chains, which count as a double crochet. Then I went on and crocheted another 15 double crochet in the magic circle. Together with the first 3 chains, 16 double crochet. Once I finished 16 double crochet, I pulled the loose end tight and connected the last double crochet with the first with a slip stitch on the 3rd chain. Pull the loop higher and cut the yarn. For the second round, I change color to white. Insert the hook to one of the stitches, pulled a loop and made sure that the loose end on the back did not escape. Then I crocheted 3 chains, which count as a double crochet. Then in the same stitch, yarn over, insert the hook, pull a loop, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over again, insert the hook in the same stitch. Pull a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over again and pull through all the 3 loops at once. Then 2 chains. This is the pattern that we will follow for the rest of the stitches. So yarn over, insert the hook on the next stitch, pull a loop, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Again yarn over, pull a loop, then yarn over again, pull through the 2 loops and leave 3 loops on the hook. One more time, yarn over, insert the hook on the same stitch, pull a loop, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. I am left with 4 loops on the hook. I yarn over again and pulled a loop through all the 4 loops at once. Then 2 chains. I kept repeating this pattern until I had 16 petals in total. At the end of the 16th petal, I connected the last stitch, inserting the hook on the third chain of the first stitch. Slip stitch, then one chain, pulled some yarn and cut the yarn. For the third round I changed to green. In one of the spaces that the petals form, I inserted the hook and pulled a loop, making sure that the loose end was entangled and did not escape at the back. Then I crocheted 5 chains, which count as 1 double crochet and 2 chains. Then in the same space, I crocheted 3 double crochet. This is the first corner of the square. Then on the next 3 spaces, I crocheted 3 half double crochet stitches on each. On the next space, I crocheted 3 double crochet, 2 chains, 3 double crochet. This is the second corner of the square. Now I repeat it again, 3 half double crochet stitches on the next 3 spaces. Then I repeated 2 more times the pattern, 3 double crochet, 2 chains, 3 double crochet and 3 half double crochet stitches on the next 3 spaces. Once I arrived at the end of the round, I crocheted 2 more double crochet where I had the 5 initial chains. Then I connected with a slip stitch at the third chain. Now I went on and crocheted 1 more round with green. For that, I slip stitched in the space, then chained 3, which count as a double crochet. Then 1 more double crochet on the same space and 2 chains. Again in the same space, 2 double crochet and I went on crocheting 1 double crochet on each stitch until I arrived at the end of the corner. For the corner, I crocheted the pattern 2 double crochet, 2 chains, 2 double crochet in the same space. Then again 1 double crochet on each stitch. I repeated this pattern for the last 2 corners left. Once I arrived at the end, I crocheted the last stitch with the first with a slip stitch in the 3rd chain. Made 1 more chain, pulled a high loop and cut the yarn. This is how a daisy granny looks like. Then I made 9 for each side, 18 for both, and sewed them. With a tapestry needle and same green yarn, for the sewing I placed 2 right sides of the grannies facing outwards. I first fixed the yarn at the inner side of one of the squares. Then insert it to the other one at the back, fixing them with one another. Then I just sewed very simply from the back to the front, then from the front to the back. Nothing fancy, I just made sure that I would sew the stitches that correspond on both grannies. This way I didn't have any stitches left over at the end. Once I was at the end of the sewing, I sewed back for a centimeter or so. This way the sewing is very strong. Then I inserted the needle at the back, made sure to secure the yarn at the back and cut it. I went on sewing 3 grannies per row. Then I sewed the 3 rows with each other the same way, forming like this a panel with 9 squares. I made 2 of them. Then I crocheted the side and base of the bag. For that, I took the green yarn, crocheted 13 chains. I skipped 3 chains from the hook, then I crocheted a double crochet on the 4th chain. The 3 chains skipped count as a double crochet. Then I went on and crocheted 8 more double crochet to the end of the row. Then 3 chains, which count as a double crochet, and turned my work to crochet the next row. I continued crocheting 1 double crochet on the next 9 stitches, 10 double crochet in total. I kept crocheting forth and back 10 double crochet until I had a piece long enough to cover 3 sides of a panel. I left my yarn uncut, cause sometimes it's better to first sew one side, then you can see if you need more or less rows. So I took the same yarn and tapestry needle and started from the other end, first fixing the yarn so it won't slip away, then sewing the 2 edges of the panel and the side stripe with a very simple stitch as shown. I kept sewing to the end and I had some more rows left over, which I undid and continued finishing the sewing. Then I fixed the yarn at the back and sewed the other panel on the other side of the stripe. Once the body of the bag was done, I crocheted the handles, again with simple double crochet as the side stripe. With the same yarn I crocheted 10 chains, skipped 3 chains, which count as a double crochet, and crocheted a double crochet on the next 6 chains, in total 7 double crochet. Then I chained 3, which count as a double crochet. Turned my work and crocheted 6 double crochet on the next 6 stitches. I kept repeating this pattern forth and back until I had the desired length. I crocheted 2 of them. First, I placed the handle like so. Then I started sewing again with a very simple stitch from the front to the back and back to the front, and so on to the end of the handle. I made sure that the handle was sewn very well, then fixed the yarn at the back well and cut the yarn. I sewed then the other end of the handle and then went on and sewed the second handle on the other side of the bag. And here is the result. So, how does it look?